Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I am currently on a financial freedom journey. If you like videos like these, I film debt-free Friday videos, I film budget videos and budget closeouts every single month. Please hit that subscribe button and become a part of my YouTube family. Today I am here to chat about our August 2022 budget. Holy cow. This is a crazy summer. I feel like it has just blown by. We've been super busy with baseball and other sports and activities with our kids, and so I feel like I have barely even been able to take a breath this summer. We are also in the process of selling and buying a new home, so it's been a few months, okay? It's been really busy. I am excited though to go over our August budget. It is also a really exciting budget because we are expecting to be moving this month. I don't have the exact dates yet. We are still very much in the process of selling our current home and buying a new home. So I don't have any dates quite set yet, but it should be in the month of August, hopefully early to mid-August, that we are closing on both houses. That will give us kind of a unique budget as well because we are not expecting to have a mortgage payment for September 1st. So if you've ever bought a home before, typically the month that you buy the home in, you skip a month of your mortgage. So we will be buying the home in August and we should not owe a payment for September. Our first mortgage payment should be in October, and we are also selling our house, so we will not have a September payment for that either. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's go ahead and get into the budget. I'm going to try and make this quick. I am filming this in a very narrow amount of time in between meetings. I'm on my lunch break. I'm dedicating it to you guys. I'm dedicating my lunch break to you today. I've been scarfing down a protein bar in between meetings so that I can film this. So let's go ahead and get into it. So our income, W-2 income, is the same at $7,000. I'm not quite sure if it will be the same. My husband actually had a job change. If you've been following my Debt-Free Fridays, I briefly talked about this, but my husband is actually switching roles. So I'm not 100% sure what our income is going to be. It should be similar. So I'm thinking that it'll be around $7,000 still. I actually also did get a slight raise. So I'm thinking that the wash between both of those changes is probably going to be at about net the same, which is awesome that our income will not be changing, hopefully. So I'm going to leave it at 7,000, and then in my recap, I will kind of try to do a better job of figuring out exactly where we're at. But, and we should know by that time. We just don't quite know yet because we haven't gotten a paycheck for him yet since this change. And I also haven't gotten a paycheck since we got our slight increase for inflation. $7,000 is what we are budgeting for this month. We also usually have side hustle income, but I don't do our budget with that because that's always just extra income for us. And that just goes straight to our financial goals. We are not going to have a mortgage payment, so I'm not going to start with that like I normally do. We are not planning on having a mortgage payment. If we do, obviously we will have a buffer to be able to pay for that out of our financial goal money, but I'm not expecting that we will have one. So I'm going to skip over that. And next would be our cell phones. So our cell phones are $130 a month. Then we have our Netflix subscription, which comes out also on the 20th, and that is $16. Then we have our Peloton bike that we pay for, and that is coming out on the 2nd, and that is $46 now. Then we have our internet, and that is at $60. Then we have giving. So we did just set up a reoccurring donation to come out every single month with St. Jude, which I'm really happy with. It's just one less thing that we have to worry about paying manually. So it's been nice to just have that automatically coming out, especially because we've been so busy. I feel like I am not paying as much attention to our budget as I normally do. It's kind of just been running on autopilot, which is really nice that we have the ability to do that. Most of our items are on auto draft, so they just come out as needed. But yes, it has been a busy time. And so I'm very thankful that we did that because it's just one less thing that I have to track every single month and make sure that it's coming out. Then we have preschool for my daughter. So she goes part-time at a preschool program. We do pay that every single week. So I don't have like one specific date, if that makes sense. And that'll be $832. Very expensive. And that's not even full-time. It's only part-time, but it is so worth it. She absolutely loves it. And it's nice for me and my husband to not have her home all day, every single day while we are both trying to work and do all the things. It's definitely been good for her. Then we also have our water bill. So this is a quarterly expense for us. Again, with the process of buying and selling the house, I'm not quite sure what we will owe for this. I'm just going to, I think it'll be a full water bill. It gets kind of weird when you're, moving and all the bills kind of are weird with like proration and stuff. And then we'll obviously have bills in our new house as well. So I will just budget for a full bill and then I will come back to edit that as needed. And I just realized, you guys, I have been writing 7 for all of these. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I don't know what the date is apparently. Well, it is in July that I'm filming this, so obviously my mind is in July, not in August. But sorry about that, you guys. I'm probably confusing you. You're like, why are you paying July bills in August? I'm not, I promise. My bills are relatively on time here. So water bill, and then we also just have our electric bill. So again, with the proration and everything, I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but I'm just going to budget for a full bill. I'm going to budget $200. That might be a little bit low because of, the time period with July and August, but we will just do 200 and then I will reevaluate. I feel like it hasn't been like super, super hot. It's been in like the 70s here. So that's been really enjoyable for the most part. We've had a few 80s and 90s days, but it's been kind of mild lately. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to save a little bit on that. So that is all of our fixed expenses. And that gives us a total of $1,608 for our fixed expenses this month, which is very low for us, obviously, because we don't have a mortgage coming out. And that leaves us with a remaining of $5,392. So then we're going to go over our variable expenses. We have our spending. My husband and I both get $200 for spending, which is awesome. We just, get a little bit of spending money, kind of can use it for whatever we want. I really think that giving spending money has been a huge help in us keeping on budget most months because we have that money that we get to spend on whatever we want and we don't have to track it. For myself, I do the majority of the tracking for our budget. It is really nice to have money that we don't have to track because it gets to be a lot sometimes, especially when we're spending a lot of money in certain months. So it's been really nice to have that like extra money that we're not having to track. So next we have our gas budget. So we actually did bump this up to $175. I'm hoping that'll be enough, but again, we're traveling a lot in the summer. We're doing baseball and summer camps and all the things. So it has been a lot more driving than normal. I am still working from home at this time, but yeah, we've still been, running the kids around on the weekends and going to do fun things, and it gets to be a lot. And gas is expensive, although it has been coming down, which I so appreciate. Then we have our groceries. So we are budgeting $700 for this month. Again, with moving and everything, I'm hoping that these budgets will be okay, but I'm trying to give us a little bit of leeway with like our financial goal money, just in case we do need extra money. We do not have anything set aside for moving in this budget because we are going to be using our house fund that we've been building in the last few months on Debt Free Friday. If you guys have watched those videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're using that money to be able to fund our move and anything related to that. I will probably pull a little bit out for like some extra eating out that we need to do during the time that we're moving. And then also obviously the moving truck and all the boxes and things that we need to be buying. I actually did get some boxes from a really sweet friend of mine who moved. And so hopefully we won't have to buy any or too many, but there's a lot of costs associated with moving. So I definitely will be using that money for that. So you won't see that in this budget, but it is money that we have set aside already for moving. Groceries, again, we're just doing $700. I might have, I'm trying to really eat through what we have, and I will be doing that again in August as well, the beginning of August before we move. So I'm hoping that we can keep it down, but then obviously we're gonna have to buy new stuff for the new house, toiletries and all the things that we're gonna want to have at the new house and restock everything, do like a big restock when we move. Hopefully 700 will be enough, but it might be a little bit low. We'll see. We might go over budget. Then we have family fun. So I love this category because it just gives us an amount of money that we're able to use for like extras for our kids, or if we want to go out to ice cream or have a fun day doing something that costs money. It just gives us the ability to do these things. Or if my son has a birthday party, those things come up all the time when you have kids, and we have 3 of them. So 3 times as many birthday parties and events and all the things. So $100 for family fun. Miscellaneous is $200. I probably, in hindsight, probably should have bumped this up a little bit because of moving. But again, a lot of those things that we're needing to buy for the move is going to be coming out of our house fund. So I think this will be okay. So we're going to leave that at $200 for the month of August. Then we also have, lastly, our dining out. So I am really hoping we will be able to stick to our budget on $250 here. Again, if we do have like some dining out the day we move, that kind of thing, I might pull that out of our moving budget just because I feel like that's inevitable. We're not going to be able to cook probably. Again, I don't really know the details yet of our move, but I'm assuming, the day before and the day of, we're not going to want to cook. We're not going to have everything unpacked and all the things like that. So I'm assuming we're going to be doing some extra dining out. We'll see. I might pull that from that, or I might just try to incorporate that into the $250. Nowadays with inflation, $250 for a family of 5 four that are eating, I guess. My baby doesn't really eat yet. He eats like purees, but he's, a baby. He's only 6 months old, so he's not eating like full meals yet. But for a family of 5, that does not go very far anymore. So it's not really that much eating out, even though it may appear that way. But yes, we will see. I'm again trying to just maintain flexibility in this budget and just be realistic with the fact that we are going to be uprooting our entire family, and it's probably going to be a stressful month. It's probably going to be busy, and it is what it is. We're just going to leave the flexibility and go from there. So that leaves us with a total of $1,625 in variable expenses, and that leaves us with a remaining of $3,767. Next, we're going to go down to our sinking funds. So we fund the same sinking funds every single month. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, we have had this set of sinking funds for a very long time. So we have car, home, Christmas, kids, and vacation. So those are what we are currently funding right now. And for this month, and honestly, these, depending on the month, I usually fund them right away, but I'm writing the 15th because that's usually when I like to have the money sent. Our budget is pretty flexible because we don't have any debt or anything. So all the money that we get coming in, and especially because we don't have a mortgage payment this month, is very flexible. So I usually set aside, our spending money right away in the beginning of the month. And then we also use a credit card. So we pay that off usually twice a month, if not more than that. So I'll make like a big payment in the middle of the month, and then I will pay it completely off for the month at the end of the month. And then for our sinking funds, I usually just pick a day and I just send all of it at once because it's usually not that much money. So for this month, we are budgeting $50 for our car sinking fund. We are budgeting $75 for home, $75 for Christmas, $50 for kids, and $50 for vacation. That brings a total for our sinking funds to $300, and that leaves us with a remaining of $3,467. So obviously these are going to financial goals. If you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you probably know that already. So $3,467 to our financial goals. That is 3,467, and leaves us with a remaining of 0. Oops, you can't even see what I'm writing. Sorry. So financial goals for us right now are working on our house fund and our Roth IRA. I don't normally break it out by week yet until we're in the actual month, and then I will usually break this out into 4 different Fridays, and I will have like our baseline of the amount that we are going to be putting towards financial goals, and then anything extra will come from sinking funds. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, this number is a lot bigger this month because we don't have a mortgage payment plan. So obviously this will go towards financial goals, but it might also go towards some miscellaneous things during the month. I'm trying to leave it open and flexible for anything that we might need during the month. So that is all I have for this budget. I hope that you guys are working on your August budget. Let me know in the comments down below. I do usually try and post these a little bit early so that you guys can maybe budget with me, or I can maybe remind you of anything that you need a budget for. One thing I did want to mention is back to school. So I do have one kiddo who is in public school, and we actually already did his back to school shopping. It was a pretty short list, and I wanted to get it done before we moved just so that I can make sure that we got everything and nothing was like picked over and everything. So we actually already did that, and that came out of our kids' sinking fund. So that's why you don't see that budgeted here. We do use that budget for our back to school stuff and our back to school fees and all of that. So I try to use those sinking funds so that it doesn't disrupt our regular budget. It makes budgeting a lot easier when we're not having one-off things every single month and all of that. That is all I have. I hope that you guys have an awesome rest of your day and an awesome week, and I will talk to you guys in my video on Friday. Bye guys.